Hey everyone. Yeah, as you can see in the back of me, my regular TV is back up. And long story short, the smart TV still works, but for anybody that might own a smart TV, whether it's a Verizon or Samsung or whatever, I think pretty much every now and then, pretty much I think we all know every now and then, they start to act up for some reason. Now, I don't know if maybe it's because the cable was acting up, because ironically, about 2 nights after this smart TV, which I'm now using as a PC monitor because, well, quite frankly, the monitor I used to have, the tube monitor, is dead. It fell over, and basically the inside, the bulb, kind of broke, so it's dead. So anyway, I decided to use this. My original plan was to keep this as my TV, the smart TV that's in front of me right now, and get a regular HD TV to put here, but basically it's going to be a role reversal, if you will, and that role reversal is eventually, and I'm not in a hurry right now because I've had this for a lot. I had this a lot longer than I did than the smart TV, so, and it served me well, especially nowadays that you have all these accessories, these little gadgets. What did I call it? What did I tell my mom they were called? Adapters or whatever. Yeah, adapters. You have all these different adapters and converters now that you don't have to worry about, having a smart TV or an HD TV right off the bat. Because as long as this is working, hey, that's good enough for me. I mean, true, the wording may not be the best because, you're basically converting um, 1080p or 720p into 480. So, but but it's basically but basically that's it's not that big of a deal. And you know, again, like I said, long story short, what happened, and again, for anybody that owns a smart TV, whether it's a Vizio or Samsung, I meant to say Vizio earlier, but Vizio or Samsung, uh, a Sony or whatever brand it may be, you may notice that sometimes they're not working entirely the way they should. Sometimes they'll do a hiccup. And ironically, I didn't even have mine a little over 60 days. And two, when I first got it, it acted up a little bit, because it was going wireless for a while, and it was fine, it finally got stable enough. And when I finally did connect the Ethernet cable, it was okay too. So again, I don't know if maybe it was the cable acting up because ironically, like I was trying to say moments ago, ironically the cable act what happened is my mom likes to sometimes, sit down on her couch, lay back on her couch, kind of sit back, put her feet up and relax before she officially goes to bed. And she likes to watch her shows and on the Hallmark channel. And what happened is the cable went out just temporarily for a short time. And she told me. So I looked at the cable on my TV and it worked fine. So apparently it came on in between those times. And what was funny as well, and something that indicated to me that, you know, Comcast was doing something was I was uploading a video here on YouTube, and all of a sudden, the last upload I was doing, it already uploaded the video, but the processing was taking a lot longer than it should. And this is on my new laptop that I'm using. And like I said, it was going a lot longer than it should. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? And this is at the same time my smart TV started to act up. So I went and I did basically everything I could. I switched out the Ethernet cables of the smart TV on the back of the smart TV with the one in the back of my PS4. And the PS4, despite the switching, works fine. So I don't know exactly what happened. And what's funny though is I took the Ethernet cable that's in the back of the modem that's connected to my smart TV, and I connected it to my Linsky's router, and it was working fine for a little bit. But then all of a sudden, when I would try to switch back from, like, let's say the applications of either Netflix or YouTube, well, not all of a sudden, but a little afterwards, it started to slowly kind of go back to regular TV. And I thought, okay, I'll just unplug it, do this, unplug it, do that. And I thought, okay, that fixed it. Apparently it didn't. Apparently it didn't fix it. And long story short, God just told me, Brian, don't frustrate yourself. You put that TV in the back, you got back up there, you put that in the closet for a reason as a backup if anything happened. Go back to it, bring it out, put it up, and be done. And that's what I did. I did this about 2 days ago, basically an hour and a half before I went to work, or a little over an hour and a half before I went to work, or something like that. I mean, I just barely had enough time getting it all together to hop in the shower afterwards, get ready, and rush out the door. But anyway, God just said, bring that back out and don't frustrate with it. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And I decided, what? I'd rather just use my smart TV as a monitor right now. I'd rather unplug it and unplug it in and plug it out, unplug it and plug it back in as a PC monitor than I would constantly doing it with my TV, because that will, even if it's just yourself, get annoying. Now, again, even if it wasn't just the PC monitor, because I noticed that it seemed to work all right a little bit even after I put it over here and it's just going by Wi-Fi now, it seemed to work okay, but it still has its problems. Like, it gets delayed when you want to turn it off with the remote here. Basically, it doesn't want to turn off. Right away, you have to unplug it and plug it back in. Now, I know some of you might say, well, what you need to do, Brian, is wait about maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes, let it set itself back up, and you won't have to worry. Well, I did that, several times before I put the Ethernet cable on the back of it when I was using it as a TV, and it still didn't work, it didn't work. Now, there is another possible reason I have it here too. I have an HDMI port here, so I don't know if it'll work if I connected it to the back of this TV, and I could just do what I'm doing here on that TV, on the monitor. So, because it has the HDMI on it as well. Basically, like I said, I don't know if it was the cable or what was going on, because even after, like I said, I put it over here, it seemed to work a little bit okay, but still was kind of delayed, especially when I was trying to turn it off or turn it back on. Thus, I had to unplug and plug it in, unplug it, and plug it back in, which, like I said, I'd rather do for it as a PC monitor than a as a PC monitor than a regular television. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's funny about this though is my mom pointed this out to me, that she said for some odd reason some of the stuff you get from your job doesn't last, but when you get it directly from online, it works fine. And that's true, it does. It does seem to do that, but I have a lot of stuff. I mean, my PS4 I got directly from my job. Hold on. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get over a cold here. I don't know what it was. Is that I caught something at my job or something. But anyway, like I was saying, she said, she said basically that it seems ironic that that happens. But like I was saying, it hasn't happened with my PS4, my Xbox, my black Xbox 360 over here, or even the Sony recorder that she got for me back in the Modesto one. So, or even the Blu-ray that I got over there, or even the Blu-ray that she has right now. So some things work. I mean, I will admit that some things work, some things don't. I mean, what I'm using right now is okay. The other one, which is basically the same color as this, uh, obviously still works, but I think there's something in it that needs to be removed. Like there's a virus in there that will not let me reset it properly. So yeah, there are some things, there are some problems that I'm not going to deny sometimes with certain things. I mean, we have at my job almost every day, almost on an everyday basis. We have people coming in almost a few days after they get the thing, or a day or so after they get something, mostly from electronics or from whatever, or household appliances, and they said it didn't work, or this was wrong, or that was wrong, or something along the lines of that. And it's like, okay, we get it. Now what? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we get it. Now what? And again, like I said, it's just one of those situations that, every now and then something works. Now, again, like I said, I didn't even have my 60 days. It still works. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but it shouldn't have been acting up because basically it had internet cable plugged in, so it shouldn't have been doing what it did unless, like I said, Comcast was working on upgrading or updating, maintaining, as well as maintaining its servers and system. Because, like I said, like I said, basically, my mom was watching her Golden Girls program the other night on Hallmark, and suddenly it went out for briefly, and then it came back on. And then, ironically, a little after that, not even a little after that, uh, the internet goes out. I mean, the TV's still good, cable's still on, and everything, but the internet and the phone's out. So I look at the modem, like I'm looking at it right now, and apparently, Apparently when the lights, some of the lights are off, and the one that says us/DS is blinking, then something's up. It's on their end. So again, I don't know if maybe they've been just updating, maintaining, whatever they're doing, upgrading their the servers or the system. I don't know, but whether that's the case or not with my smart TV or my smart monitor now, I'd rather not take the chance. I'd rather not. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to get another one down the line. Not a smart TV, but a regular HD TV. I'm not saying that I will. I will get one. But that'll be in time. And honestly, the truth is, folks, whether it's a smart TV or not, whether it's your cable system or not, you shouldn't have to do this. You shouldn't have to go like, well, I'm gonna have to go back to the old one, which is okay. It's good. It's got a nice picture, clear picture. Nothing against it. It does its job. But if I have to go back to it because the smart TV or smart monitor or whatever doesn't want to work properly, and even though it's directly connected to the internet, something is not right. You know what I'm saying? Something is not right. So, to me, I'd rather not take the chance that something's going to happen. I'd rather not take the chance of unplugging it as a TV and it goes out on me permanently. I don't want to take that chance, that being the smart TV/monitor. But I want to point something out, though. I want you to notice that not a lot of smart TVs are out there right now. Now, you might say, well, go to Best Buy. You'll see a lot of them. I'm not denying I wouldn't, but I want you to notice that places where I work, like Walmart and maybe several others, maybe even Best Buy, smart TVs are not being sold anymore, or not being sold as much anymore. I mean, what you're seeing instead is regular 1080p television, 720 television, or 4K. And even with the 4Ks, you don't see many of them advertising smart features. You want to know why? Because apparently, I think word's been getting around that the smart TVs are not as smart as they seem to be. They're not as smart as they're being advertised. That there are hiccups. That basically what you're trying to do is create a hybrid between television and computer, when you shouldn't be doing that. You should just let a TV be a TV. You already have plenty of devices out there, whether it's PS4s, whether it's video game consoles like PS4s, Xbox 360s, or Xbox Ones, or PS3s, or Nintendo Wii's or Wii U's. You have those. You have those Roku devices. You have Apple TV. You have Google. Chrome. You have Chrome TV now. You have all these different, streaming avenues and devices. You even have the portable stuff like your Kindles, your Androids, your iPads, your iPad Pros, your your Apple Watch, your Apple Watches, or your smart watches, whatever you want to call them. You have your iPods, your iPad, your iPhone, stuff like that. You have all these different devices, all these different outlets now. Now, smart TV is not really necessary, and I think a lot of companies, even though they still distribute them to stores, are realizing that. They're realizing, yeah, maybe it wasn't a good idea. Whoever came up with the idea to do it realized, hey, we're basically crossing avenues that should not be crossed. I mean, heck, LG, if you notice, they're advertising the new glass-like or fiber-like glass TVs, And you don't hear them talking about the smart features. Heck, I look at some of the boxes at my job, and the only ones that are doing smart TVs, as far as I know, are Samsung and Vizio. And you're seeing those slowly being phased out for regular Samsungs and Vizios. And you know, to me, I think right now is probably the best time for this to happen. Now, I'm not saying a smart TV doesn't do its job if it works properly and doesn't act up. It does. It provides a great picture. It provides great sound quality. I mean, well, not good sound. Well, basically, you have to have something like what I have in here, like a home theater system. But it provides a good picture. It gives you great options and stuff. It gives you all. It gives you what you asked for, what it advertised. But then again, you're relying on the internet to help it maintain function, and you shouldn't have to rely on that. You shouldn't have to rely on on the internet to for your TV to maintain function. You should just rely on it to be itself. Which is why I'm sure a lot of you out there um, have a lot of you have relatives, cousins, sisters, brother-in-laws, whatever. I'm sure a lot of you out there basically have, like I say, sister and brother-in-laws that or relatives or cousins or whatever, that you go into one of the rooms, if not two of the rooms, and one, if not two rooms, will have a regular television. Excuse me. We would say one like this, which is a flat screen tube, if you will, flat screen tube, a regular tube, or whatever. You're bound to find one or two of them in a room, in the house, and people using them. And you know why? Because people would rather rely on those than anything else. It's the honest to God truth. They'd rather rely on those than anything else. Why? Because you don't have to plug in an Ethernet cable, and you pretty much already have the apps going for you on different consoles or systems. So, what's the reason? Again, I'm not saying a smart TV doesn't do its job if it works correctly without any hiccups. It does. I didn't ask my sister earlier when she was here tonight, because she was here, she cooked dinner for us and really appreciated it. It was really good. But my sister, I didn't ask her, my second older sister, you know, I didn't ask her if her smart TV was acting up or anything. I mean, they did kind of say it did start. My brother-in-law did say it kind of starts out slow one time I asked him, but then it picks right up. So again, I don't know. Maybe if Samsung does a better job than anybody else, I don't really know. A lot of people say this is probably the best brand to go with because I haven't even seen Vizio get advertised that much anymore, even though we sell it. So again, I don't know if that's the case or not, but um, the point is, we shouldn't. The point is, I'm not. The point I'm trying to say is, they do their job if there's nothing wrong with them, if they don't have any hiccups. But apparently, You know, they don't do, but apparently they will have hiccups. So, I mean, like I said, my brother-in-law said it would take a little bit, but then it would jump back on. It would come back on. I mean, heck, they even had difficulty trying to sync my sister's camera with it because she wanted to show a video back in November of my nephew surprising his little brother by being home for the holidays. Well, he's being home for Thanksgiving. So, you know, they had a bit of problems there, but they figured it out. So, like I said, it obviously it sounds like Samsung might be a better brand to go with, and I might look into that in the future. But right now, the way I look at it, as the video says, out with the new, in with the old. So, which isn't a bad thing. So, let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you've had any problems with smart TVs and everything. If you had similar problems. I'm sorry this video dragged, and I'll talk to you all later.